Today, I'm not going to tell you guys a story. No, I'll do much better. I'll paint it. A long time ago, there was somebody with hands and legs and a round body. Nothing weird, but his beard. It's so strange, I really have no clue why I painted my beard blue. I mean, not mine, of course, but this man's beard.
Bluebeard.
One fine morning, a man by the name of Bluebeard was walking in the forest. He was singing a song he'd written just a few minutes before. Ta-ra-ta-ra-ta-ra-ra, ta-ram, ta-ram, tam-tam. Thought Bluebeard, it really is time. Time for me to eat something. And so Bluebeard walked along, thinking about how he'd already eaten breakfast and how lunch was far from being cooked. Suddenly, Bluebeard reached a clearing in the forest. In the clearing stood a small house. I'll paint it for you right now. There were sunflowers all around the house, and there were carrots painted on the window shutters. If I am understanding this correctly, thought Bluebeard, these carrots mean this house belongs to the rabbit. And the rabbit is not a bad host at all. And the good host is always happy to invite his guests to lunch. Bluebeard wasted no time. He went straight to the door and knocked. Hey, hey! Knock, knock! Is anyone home? Knock, knock! Open the door! No one answered. Maybe everyone in there was asleep. Bluebeard knocked on the door again. And again. Bluebeard knocked on the door with his fist. He kicked the door with his feet. Finally, the window shutters opened. In the window appeared a very pretty girl whose eyes were as blue as the sky. For some reason, I also painted her hair blue. I don't know why I did that. Stop knocking on my door, said the girl. You better come in and have some cocoa. Bluebeard got so excited when he saw the food that he ran right inside, sat down, and started eating. The blue-haired girl was really surprised when she saw this. How is it possible, she thought, to eat a whole cake in one go and swallow it without even chewing it? Or stick your fingers in the dish of jam, as if that wasn't bad enough, and then lick your fingers one by one. Ew, you have such bad manners, said the girl. Uh-huh, mumbled Bluebeard. And then, reaching for another piece of cake, he overturned the cup of cocoa. A brown spot started to appear on the white linen tablecloth, and it slowly took the shape of a horse. Then Bluebeard used his fingers to draw a pretty tail for this horse. The girl with the blue hair did not appreciate this kind of artistic freedom-taking, and she said through tears, "You're behaving like a naughty little boy. You have to be punished right now. I have to lock you up in the dark basement." The house that the girl lived in had many rooms, and you could go into any room except for the dark basement, that is. Well, I'm in deep trouble, that's what Bluebeard thought as he sat in the dark basement. Looks like I will have to stay here forever and be hungry too. He looked around the basement for some food, and suddenly he saw a stove with a burning fire. Hanging above the fire was a pot, and there was something quite tasty cooking inside it. Bluebeard tried to put his hand under the lid, but as it turned out, the oven, the fire, and the pot were all painted on an old canvas. This old canvas was hanging over a secret door. Surprised, Bluebeard decided to pull the door handle. The secret door was open, and Bluebeard saw that this closet was chock full of tasty treasures. He rubbed his eyes in disbelief. As Bluebeard happily gobbled up a sandwich with peanut butter and jam and honey, he thought about what had happened and said, "If not for that picture, I would have lost my poor beard. No, I mean my poor head." That's what I'm telling you. When you're feeling like all is lost, a true artistic masterpiece can help lift up your spirit.
Life will be improved by as much as can be. It'll be easy as a piece of cake. Every time I see a truck selling ice cream, I run up to it very fast and I scream, give me a zillion, billion, give or take. They say that soon all my teeth are gonna break, and that I will have a terrible toothache. No, that's a mistake. My teeth will not break. Something in my mouth crumbles down like crackers. I'm so terrified I cannot cry. I've cracked my tooth and now I need a dentist. Please, doctor, tell me how big the dentist. Will I ever smile? What if I try? Am I to kiss all my greatest hopes goodbye? That one day I'll eat the biggest apple pie. Life will pass me by. Here's the whitest pearl of wisdom. If you want to keep a sweet tooth, get your brushes cleaner with them. Children, now you know the hard truth. Here's the whitest pearl of wisdom. If you want to keep a sweet tooth, get your brushes cleaner with them.
It's not what you think. I'm not greedy at all. I'm fine with sharing my candy. But do you know what happened to the little tailor? Well, I'll tell you.
The valiant little tailor.
In a land far, far away, there lived a little tailor. He loved eating sweets like honey and jam, and it would attract flies that came from all over the kingdom. The little tailor did not chase off these flies, so these annoying insects came to believe that they were free to do anything they wanted. One night, they got into the refrigerator and gobbled up all the little chocolate glazed cream puffs. Well, no one could take this much suffering, so the little tailor grabbed the towel that was on the table and swung it at the flies with all his might. And these flies got up and left in a jiffy. The angry little tailor put a chain around the fridge and locked it. And then he wrote a scary warning in the front of his t-shirt. I am a strong man in my prime. I'll fight 7 at a time. Then he went to the bakery and he bought himself some fresh chocolate glazed cream puffs, and he headed home in a great mood. The little tailor was walking down the road, nibbing at his pastry. Then, boom! He met a giant. The giant read what was written on the little tailor's t-shirt and looked surprised. What do you mean, you'll fight 7 at a time? The giant got very curious, so he said to the little tailor, if you are so brave, let's have a contest to see who is mightier. If you win, then I promise to tell you a giant secret. But if I turn out to be stronger, then you'll be in giant trouble. The giant looked around and found a huge rock on the road. He picked it up and broke it right in two. The little tailor was so surprised that he dropped his last cream puff. You see how strong I am, said the giant. Now it's your turn. The little tailor knew exactly what to do. He picked up the cream puff. He dropped it forward as it was a heavy rock and squeezed it so hard that the cream came out and it hit the giant in the nose. The giant was shocked. He'd never met a human before who could squeeze cream from a rock single-handedly. He must really be the strongest man ever and the cream of the human crop. So now the giant had to tell the little tailor a very scary, gigantic secret. On a high mountain, there grows a 100,000-year-old tree. If you climb high up into this tree, you will find a deep hole in the trunk. And at the very bottom of this deep and dark hole stands a huge refrigerator. And this refrigerator is full of ice cream, cream puffs, chocolate cakes, and cookies. But there is someone who guards this treasure, a dog with eyes as huge as bicycle wheels. And he is on the lookout for anyone who tries to come and eat those sweets. But don't be afraid of the dog, said the giant to the little tailor. Grab him and place him in my apron, and the dog will calm down right away. You can then bravely open the refrigerator and eat all the tasty sweets your heart desires. The little tailor was so happy that he would be able to eat sweets and not even pay for them. And so he went to climb in the tree. He found the hole and peeked inside. And it was just like the giant had said. There was a refrigerator and there was a dog with big eyes. Before the dog had a chance to do anything, he ended up on the apron. He sat there and watched through tears, and the little tailor went through his tasty treasures. And the little tailor acted like there was no tomorrow. He got inside the refrigerator, and all the dog could hear were crunching, munching noises. The little tailor gobbled up all the sweets. He didn't even leave a single crumb. Looking happy, he slammed the refrigerator door and went out the hole. But when he tried to get through, he realized his full belly was in the way. The little tailor had gotten so fat that he couldn't get out or go back in. He was stuck in the hole. So there he was, sticking out of the hole, and everyone laughed at him until he lost all that weight. That's what I'm telling you. It's not healthy to eat that many candies. Eating sweet things will make you out of shape.
Kids are always asking lots and lots of questions. I will only ask you one. Please give me suggestions. Where the silly hiccups come from? Woodley LOA. Do I have to suffer night and day? High and low, down and up, I hiccup. Way below and to the top, will they stop? Will these hiccups ever stop? On each word I stutter, every word I shatter. I'm trying everything, but it does not matter. Could you please, oh pretty please, suggest for me a cure? This is something that I can't endure. High and low, down and up, I hiccup. Way below and to the top, will they stop? Will these hiccups ever stop?
Listen, I have to leave you now, my darling toy friends. I'll be back by lunchtime. While I'm out, please don't misbehave, be nice to each other, and don't open the doors for strangers. Then nothing very scary will happen to you, and you won't end up in bad situation. Like the 7 young kids from a fairy tale. I'll tell you their scary story.
The Wolf and the 7 Young Kids.
Once upon a time, Big Bad Wolf was living next to the 7 young kids. The kids listened to their mother, and the wolf listened to no one. That's why he grew to be an angry, ill-mannered brute. So then one day, the mother of the kitties went to a store to buy some milk. No, not milk. Well, anyway, she had to go to the store to buy something. Maybe it was cabbage. Before going to the store, Mother Goat told her 7 young kids, "Stay inside and be quiet, and don't open the door for anyone, even if they say it's the police, or that it's the maintenance guy. You can open the door only if you hear the following song. Little kitties, listen to me, sweeties. Open the door and be speedy. No, that's wrong. Here's the right one. Listen, sweeties, little kitties. I don't ask anymore. Then you open the door. Mother is back with some milk in her sack. She went to get some cabbage. You need to sing the song about cabbage. Listen, sweeties, little kitties. I don't ask anymore. Then you open the door. Mother is back with cabbage in her sack. There, Big Bad Wolf listened at the door and heard this song. Big Bad Wolf was a real baddie. It's really not nice to listen at the door. So as soon as Mother Goat left, Big Bad Wolf ran up and started to pound the door, and he sang, Listen, sweeties, little kitties, I don't ask any more than you open the door. Mother is back with cabbage in her sack. He pretended to be their mother, but his voice roared like a motor. So then the 7 young kids spoke up and told Big Bad Wolf, Go away, you're not our mother. Our mother left to get some cabbage. And they didn't open the door. Big Bad Wolf really wanted to gobble up the 7 young kids. And this is what he came up with. He went to the blacksmith and asked him to make his voice really high, as high as the voice of Mother Goat. So the blacksmith took out a huge sledgehammer, and then he used that sledgehammer to make Big Bad Wolf a voice that was really high and whiny. So now Big Bad Wolf could bleat as well as a goat. So he ran up again to the house with the 7 young kids and started singing. Listen, sweeties, little kitties, I don't ask anymore. Then you open the door. Mother's back with some milk. No, with cabbage in her sack. The silly 7 young kids got so happy they started screaming, Mommy, Mommy came back! And then they opened the door. Only the 7th little kid, the smallest one of all, felt that something was not right, and he hid in the oven. Big Bad Wolf ran into the house and gobbled up all the 6 little kids one by one, and he didn't even have a problem swallowing them. And the entire time, he kept looking around and searching for the 7th little kid, but he couldn't see him anywhere. Then he heard someone sneezing in the oven. Ah, he screamed, that's where you hid from me. Just you wait a second. I will get you too. Big Bad Wolf's voice was very high and very scary, and he was shaking with rage, his teeth shattering away. But he still couldn't reach the little kid. That's when Big Bad Wolf decided to start huffing and puffing to break down the oven. He huffed and puffed and only got dirt to come out of the oven. He huffed and puffed again and the wind made noise in the chimney. Then Big Bad Wolf ran out of the house. He ran in and huffed and puffed hard. In fact, he huffed and puffed so hard that he got all red. Big Bad Wolf was huffing and puffing, but the oven felt nothing. It was kind of like an elephant bitten by a small mosquito. He couldn't huff and puff it away. The oven was made of bricks. Then Big Bad Wolf thought, I'll get to the tiny kid through the chimney. And he started climbing up to the roof. It wasn't easy to climb up the roof with a full belly. He fell down twice. His knees were scraped, his fur covered with burrs. But he still crawled up there. Well, he got up there all right, but he couldn't get in. His belly full of the young kids got in his way. Then he got all the young kids out of his belly, put them down on the roof and said, Don't make any noise, and if you don't behave, I'll come back and eat you. And then he thought, I'll get to the littlest kid, eat him, then come back up and re-gobble them all up again. Big Bad Wolf was crawling down the chimney, barely making it, and he got all dirty from soot. Then he heard someone down there trying to light a match. It was Mother Goat. She'd come back home and started to heat the oven to cook the cabbage. While Big Bad Wolf was going through the chimney, she had time to come back with the cabbage to sing the proper song to get her young kids down from the roof and to tell the littlest kid he shouldn't have gone into the oven. Then Mother Goat started the fire. It burnt the tail of Big Bad Wolf. And he started screaming, "What are you doing to me? It hurts!" He barely made it out of the chimney and ran into the forest to nurse his wounded tail. Mother Goat was surprised because she couldn't understand how Big Bad Wolf had ended up in her oven. Then the 7 young kids told her the whole story. And that's the story of what happened to them. Oops, I forgot all about the time. Now I'll be late. So if you want to eat cabbage again, don't open the door to dangerous strangers. Looking at me like that, huh? You can find a good use for all sorts of weird things. Oh, wait. I know a fairy tale about that.
The Straw Bull Calf.
Once upon a time, there lived an old man and an old woman. They were very poor, and they had no family at all. No children and no grandchildren. All day long, they would sit on the porch all alone. One day, the old woman turned to the old man and said, "You know what, old man? Our life is really terribly boring. I have an idea. What do you think about getting ourselves some kind of pet?" "But a pet needs to be fed all the time," said the old man, who started to grow anxious. But the old woman kept whining like a little baby. "I want a pet kitty. I want a pet doggy." And when the old woman asked for a little turtle, the old man got worried and started thinking that he should do some thinking. Then the old man came up with an idea that seemed really great. The old man went to the barn, did some sweeping around the corners, and gathered up a whole bunch of straw. The old man made a bull calf out of the straw, and to make the bull calf tough, he coated it with tar. The old woman was so happy that her wish had come true that she took the straw bull calf to a meadow and left him there to graze. The straw bull calf was standing in the meadow. Above him, the sun was shining, and all around him, the birds were chirping. Then suddenly, the bear came along. He saw the bull calf and said, "Good morning. How do you do?" The bull calf was mute because he was made out of straw. The bear was so surprised that he repeated, "Good morning." But the bull calf didn't say anything. The bear became very angry and he roared, "Why must you be so rude to me? If you were a well-behaved bull calf, you would have said good morning back to me." But once again, the bull calf said nothing. "I will teach you a lesson," roared the bear, and he smacked the bull calf on the side that was covered in tar. And you guessed it, the bear's paw got stuck in the tar. The bear tried to free his paw, but the bull calf wouldn't let him go. "Hey, let me go," roared the bear. Or else, and using his other paw, he smacked the bull calf on the side covered with tar. Now both his paws were stuck. The bear got scared and screamed at the top of his lungs. "Oh dear, bull calf, please let me go. Please, bull calf, pretty please." When the old man heard the bear screaming out there, he immediately ran to the meadow and said, "Hey, you bear, how dare you touch my bull calf? I'm going to grab you, and I'm going to throw you, into these thorny gooseberry bushes." "Please, old man," begged the bear. "Ask me anything you want. I'll do anything for you, but please don't throw me into the thorny gooseberry bushes. And please unglue me from this bull calf." "Fine, fine," said the old man, "but don't you dare fight anymore." And in return for his freedom, the bear brought the old man a great gift: lots of honey. The old couple never had so much in all their poor lives. And one afternoon, while the bull calf was grazing in the meadow, the wolf got stuck to him. The old man unglued the wolf, and he brought the old man a herd of sheep. The next day, the fox got stuck in the bull calf. And so the old couple got some geese and a few chickens. Even the rabbit got caught in the trap. The old man freed the rabbit, and the rabbit brought the old couple a whole bag of juicy carrots. The old man and the old woman sat on the porch, eating carrots, and they couldn't have been happier with their bull calf. The bull calf was not real, and yet he proved to be very useful. The old man and the old woman lived happily ever after, so their fairy tale was a very happy ending. And that's what I'm telling you. Every little thing, if you know the proper use for it, can be very valuable to you.
Listen to it. The power of the copper lamp leads me to a wonderland. Fairytale East, Fairytale East, the miracles are so grand. In the east it's known far and wide. If a genie has settled in the lamp, he'll fulfill your wishes with stride. They come true by clapping his hands. The sky's lit with stars and our golden mirages cause illusion to the eye. Fairy tales to all are spoken, these miracles the genie brings to life. These miracles the genie brings to life. These miracles the genie brings to life. The power of the copper lamp leads me to a wonderland. Fairytale East, Fairytale East, the miracles are so grand. At night the fish play in the ponds in moonlight. A green oasis hears the magic words. Every fairy tale's delight with stories that are sweeter than desserts. Now it's time for tales and adventures. We will tell them as the lamp burns bright. And the genie calls to enter fairy tales 4,000 nights. Fairy tales 4,000 nights. Fairy tales 4,000 nights. The power of the copper lamp leads you to a wonderland. Fairytale East, Fairytale East, the miracles are so grand.
Today, I'll tell you a fairy tale about the importance of making the right choice. So listen up. Once upon a time, the fox was running through the forest. She didn't watch her steps, so she tripped over a rolling pin and fell.
The fox and the rolling pin.
Oh my goodness, what is the meaning of this dropping rolling pins on the road? That is what the fox thought to herself as she rubbed her bruised side. The fox looked around, but she saw no one. If no one will climb this rolling pin, I'll keep it. If you think hard, you'll find a use for anything. I used to be an ordinary fox. Now I'll be the fox with the rolling pin. The sly fox sneered, whisked her tail, and went straight to the nearby village. And in that village, the cat and the rooster lived in the very last house on the road. Inside the house, a cat was jumping, and the rooster was sitting on the window, singing a song. When the fox heard the rooster's crooning, she felt really hungry. So she went over to the window and said, "Oh, what a pretty voice you have. What talent. I recognized it right away. Such pretty feathers, and you have the beak of an eagle." When the rooster heard that the fox said, he was so fluttered by her parade, he could barely even breathe. He felt lightheaded and very happy. The cat stopped jumping rope, put the rope away, and then looked at the window and said, "Go away, sly fox, while you still can. We know what you can do." So the fox decided to deceive him. "Oh, dear me, where shall I go now? I used to have a house all icy and sparkly, but when spring came, my house melted away. Can you let me stay with you just for one night?" No, there's barely enough room for us in here," said the cat to the fox. But the fox kept insisting. "I'll sleep on the bench and tuck my tail under it. I'll put my rolling pin under the oven." "Well, if you put your rolling pin under the oven, then fine, you can stay over." The sly fox waited until the cat and the rooster were asleep, and carefully got up from the bench. She got the rolling pin from under the oven and hid it in a different secret place. And in the morning, the fox started screaming, "Oh, you stole my favorite rolling pin! What will I do without it? Say what you want, but you have to give me a rooster in exchange for my rolling pin." The cat furrowed his brow. "No, fox, I can't give you my rooster. If you want, you can have my jump rope." "Fine, I'll take this jump rope," the fox said. It used to be a fox with the rolling pin, now I'll be the fox with the jump rope. That's what she said, but this is what she thought. "Just you wait, kitty cat. I'll get that rooster. You'll see." Anyway, the fox spent all day playing and jumping rope, and by nightfall she was exhausted. Again, she asked to spend the night at their house. "Let me in. I won't take up much space. I'll sleep on the bench and tuck my tail under it, and I'll put my jump rope under the oven." They had no choice but to let her in. At night, the fox put the jump rope from under the oven and hid it in a different secret place. And in the morning, the fox started screaming again. "Oh, you stole my favorite jump rope! What will I do without it?" "Say what you want, cat, but you have to give me your rooster in exchange for my jump rope." The cat sighed and told the fox, "Fine, we'll do as you say, but please wait outside while I say goodbye to my rooster." "I'll say goodbye, then I'll put my rooster in a sack, and you can do whatever you want with him," the cat said, tearing up. The fox went outside and said, "This is so unnecessary. Why do they have to be so melodramatic anyway? Why is it taking so long?" The fox looked at the window and saw a sack in the windowsill, and something was moving inside. So the fox grabbed the sack and started running away with it. She ran into the forest, caught her breath, and sighed. "Well, rooster dear, the time has come for you to sing your swan song, and then I will eat you." The fox untied the sack, and it turned out the cat was in it instead. It jumped out of the sack, threatening the fox with the rolling pin, and he ran after her so fast that she could barely get away. That's what I'm telling you. You get what you get, and don't be upset, or you might end up losing a rolling pin that could come in very handy and get a cat in a sack instead.
Singing in opera, start with some tasty food. It's very popular all over Italy. Pasta and pizza, everyone loves it. Maestros and divas, artists go for She'll be